starting with 1 cup of butter flavor shortening in the bowl with 1 stick or a half a cup of salted butter. You can use unsalted if you like. To that, you're going to add 2 1/4 cups of packed brown sugar, or firmly packed. And I always forget to say I use light brown sugar. So I suppose dark would work. I just never tried it. I always use light brown sugar. Cream those ingredients together, and then in a separate container you're going to add 4 tablespoons of milk. I'm using almond milk, just regular unsweetened almond milk. To that, add 2 eggs and give it a good mix. We're going to also add our extracts to this. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract goes in, give it a good mix. And then we're going to add a half a tablespoon of cake batter extract. And this stuff is really strong, so don't use too much. Half a tablespoon is plenty. While your butter and sugar is still creaming together, pre-measure out 4 cups of flour in a separate container. To that you want to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And to that you're going to add 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder. Those 2 ingredients do 2 completely different things. As a matter of fact, if you were to use baking powder, what you would get is a more cakey cookie. And if you like a cakey cookie, that's fine, but that's not what we're going for here. Now we're going to add our egg mixture. Gradually add it a little at a time until it's all in there, and then give your bowl a good scraping down, being sure to get down there at the bottom of that bowl as well as scraping the paddles. Next, we're going to get ready to add our flour mixture. Now, as you can see, I'm gradually adding my flour mixture a little at a time, but if you want to put it all in there at once, you really can, because at this point you're pretty much done with the cookie dough. It comes together very fast. And right now we're just going to put our additions in there. After one last scrape down, we're going to add 1 whole bag of mini chocolate chips. And then to that we're going to add 1 whole bag of white chocolate chips. And then we're going to add our sprinkles. So I have 1 grandchild that likes white chocolate, 1 grandchild that likes sprinkles, and 1 that likes chocolate chips. And that's why I call these my my grandkids cookies, because I specifically made this for them. So everybody gets something that they like. On a parchment lined sheet pan, we're going to portion out our cookies. Now, I always do this. This is a habit of mine. You need to let this dough rest for about 1 hour before you bake it. If you want to let it rest and then portion it out as you need to, you can, but I always like to do it ahead of time. It just makes everything go so fast, for me anyway. And out of this batch, I got exactly 2 dozen cookies using my large. This is my large cookie scoop. I also scrape all of the dough out the bottom of the bowl and just add pieces of it to whatever cookies I think are too small. So cover your dough before you put it in the fridge so it doesn't dry out. I'm baking only 6 cookies on a sheet at a time, but I did put 2 cookie sheets in the oven at a time, and I rotated them.